over the road. I'm just going to go over basic aspect of it, the basic driver. I will do a program later on a company, how much a company makes it. That means calling to the truck. So when you are driving as a driver, you don't own it, any part of it. You're a driver. When you own part of that equipment, be bobtail or and trailer, you're called owner operator. So I'm gonna go over as a driver what the driver makes. There are different many ways we calculate the amount of money how we pay, and the easiest way a lot of companies do, they calculate the miles. They just say, okay, you started at 1,000 miles and now it's 4,000 miles when you came back, and we're gonna pay you 3,000 miles times 65 cents. That's 1950. So you're just paid flat rate. You're not involved in any maintenance, whatever it is. You get the fuel card and you go to the truck stop, fill it up, and you don't pay anything. There's another scenario how we calculate the amount of money to the trucking company. Let's say they pay $10,000 on a load, and your agreement with the company. So a lot of companies do 28% to 35% of the to the truck amount. That means that amount is before taking the fuel out, before taking any other expense. That is when the final agreement between the shipper and the trucking company. So the trucking company, let's say they made $10,000 to the truck, and you agreed, say, 30% of that, that will be $3,000. So that's per load. That does not include your detention, or if you had to stay over, that's another $250 to you. Or some companies don't pay that much, they pay you $150 to $200 per day layover. And the detention usually is around $50 an hour. Generally understood, time to unload or load a truck is considered maximum of 2 hours. By the time you get there and by the time you get loaded. So if you get there by 12, you get loaded by 2 p.m., 12 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's 2 hours. That's okay. When you stay more than 2 hours, then let's say if the load was done by 3 p.m., then they will pay you 1 hour detention. That's another $50. So let's get started on. I'm just gonna go over a week or 2 weeks with you. So first week started out, we consider a week from Sunday, following Sunday, back in the yard or whatever we consider that's the end of the shift. And we go from Sunday to Sunday, basically what I'm saying, and that's your settlement. So this load came out from Berlin, Wisconsin, and went to Chambersburg, PA. The loaded miles were 800 miles. Money paid to the truck is $2,800. Out of that, if you calculate 30%, that would be $780. That's decent. So that's 66 cents per mile. Like I said, over the road, we consider 65 cents if you are the sole driver. Sometimes they pay you 75 cents. If you are closer to Northeast, Northeast is a cluster. There are different rules, regulations, your way to get in there, way to get out, what time to go, what time not to go, especially if you pass exit 8 on the turnpike. It is a total different world. And so anytime you go in that direction, make sure your compensation is taken care of properly. If you do have to stay in the traffic, have that settled. A lot of companies will pay you if you are stuck in traffic, and they pay you by the hour at that time. Regular, like a UPS or FedEx driver, they make about $37 an hour. And if you talk mom and pop places, they make about 30 to $32. A lot of companies I've seen, they abuse drivers. They pay you $22 an hour. It's up to you. But you should know that it's a responsible job. One mistake can take a good toll on you. So make sure you're compensated properly. The money is not so much the issue. The main thing is your safety. More importantly, safety of the other road. I say start with the prayers and be humble. Make sure you go over the safety considerations. Go around your truck. Don't just get into the truck. Go around. Keep an eye on everything the way it is. And the second thing in trucking, if you can drive and you know the route, it's a truck route and it calls for 10 extra miles, but the other direction which gives you a shortcut but you're not sure about it, do not take that shortcut. But if it's a well-known route to you, that's fine, well and good. And so here it is. Started out from Berlin, Wisconsin to Chambersburg, PA. The money to the truck was it's not 28%, it's 2,600. So that is $780. The second load from Dover, PA, which was about only 50 miles from there, to College Point, New York, and that paid $1,000, and it was 211 miles. And to the driver, out of 1,000 is 300. And I mean, it does look like 200 miles is nothing to make $300. Those 200 miles are working hard. They are not simple miles. When you are passing George Washington Bridge or Tappan Zee, whatever, I personally do not recommend going over to the Tappan Zee because you only save about $40-50, but you do extra 40 miles to get there. You need to consider that as well. So the third load from Brooklyn, New York to Toma, Wisconsin, that is 1,070 miles. And that pays and to the truck is $1,550. So just remember that when you come out of East Coast, you go out west. You don't pay as much usually. But when you are coming towards the East Coast, nobody wants to go there. Everyone, if you go to East Coast, you want to make sure you get the proper compensation, proper money for it, especially when you pass exit 8 on the turnpike. And let's say this load was picked up in Brooklyn. It was like only down the road, like 10 miles, and 30% of that says $465. It's not good paying load. Almost 1,100 miles. That requires 2 days. So 2 days, $460 is not good. You're looking at in today's world, driver should be around $400 from Brooklyn, Tonga, and then in Decorah, Iowa to Bridgeport, Connecticut. So that is good paying load, which is 1,200 miles, $3,700. That's like $3. So to the driver, it goes $1,110 out of it. So like I said, when you're coming towards Northeast, you're making a little bit more money. You need to make sure that when you go there, you are able to negotiate a good rate to go back out. So you need to consider that they don't really want to pay out of this area because anyone would want to go to west It's all open, and it's American way in the West. It's totally different when you go northeast. It's like third world some areas, and the roads are not designed well for truck. But one of the better cities I have noticed is Houston. That's designed well. Or I've been in California, certain areas they are designed well for trucking. But when you come back this way, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh is a cluster. You go up north and past Edison, it's a cluster out there. So the directions are, you need to be more careful when you get the directions. So you need to be compensated when you go there, because you need to do extra due diligence and do your make sure you always go over the route before you go take off in these areas. Go anywhere, you should take a decent good look at the area map. Go check out the book. Make sure there are no restriction on those roads. So it used to be in Gettysburg. Used to be a U.S. I think it was 15. That was not trucking friendly, and a lot of people got in trouble in that area. Now they have cleared it out. They have straightened out pretty decent road out. Also, if you remember in Connecticut, used to be a Pawtucket Bridge out there, which had a weight limit. So that has been taken care of. So you need to look in the updated book. Make sure you go over the book before you head out to the pickup. So that is the regular guys would be making. So the total for the week. I'm just gonna go over the total miles driven for the truck is 3,916 miles, and the driver is $2,655, whereas going to the truck is $8,850 and $8,850 going to the truck, and to the driver is $2,655. But that's kind of on the low side. If you are a decent driver, you can figure out your ways, you can figure out your route, and you know the rules and regulations, and you can read the signs. That's more important than anything else. Make sure you always slow down and read the sign. If you miss a sign, it's okay to slow down, pull over, and do your due diligence in that area. A lot of time, what they say is stitch in time saves nine. That's how it works. And you need to look at the height. Anytime you get come close to the railroads or the old bridge, you need to look at the bridge height, and make sure your truck height, and you should know exactly what is your feet and inches at the back of the trailer and at the front of the trailer, and as well as on the flarings of your bobtail. And God forbid if there's a situation where you're not sure, or you go there and you hear a little scratch. You need to dump there's a dump valve on the bobtail, and there's a dump valve on a trailer. So you let the air out, and that gives you about 4 to 6 inches. So you can actually lower your truck, but you cannot run with it at a high speed. You can only move slow. It will give you a lot of bumps, and you can just crawl out if you have to. That's the situation if you ever get stuck, or you're not sure. And a lot of time if you go to New Jersey or New York, I have seen that in Pennsylvania as well. The bridges are marked incorrect. So you need to go over the book first thing, and then you need to make sure you get the proper directions, and just be careful with the signs, what the road signs say, and know exactly what your truck height is and what you can do. So You're looking at the average. This week it's only 26.55, which is kind of on the low side. But if you are pulling and hauling hard, let's say this week I have ran back towards west again and got done by Sunday. That was a crazy week at 7,000 miles. That to the truck, that's close to 6,000 something. So to the truck is $12,000 and $350. Out of that, the driver pay is $37 and $5. That is pulling decent. That's hard. When I do, let's say I go to California from New Jersey to LA, it's about 3,000 miles, and then coming back is another 3,000 miles. But when you go from here, it doesn't pay as good. From here to LA probably pays about 4,800 to somewhere around, let's say about 4,000 to 5,000 from here to there. It's 3,000 miles. When you come back this way, it usually pays about, on a bad market, it's paid about $6,000. On a good market, it pays almost $12,000. I have seen better than that in a good market. But let's just consider that for now. Let's say going that way, let's say 4,500, because you need to pay fuel. If you can't pay for fuel, nobody's going to go. Fuel alone in this trip, if the gas prices, the diesel prices are about $3.50 per gallon, your cost is usually around 4,000 going back and going that way and coming back. So let's say if the to the truck was 4,500 going that way and coming back was $12,000. That's about 16,500. So out of that, take $4,000, $4,000 to $4,500, depending on if you get stuck in traffic a lot, or there's a lot of rain and snow and everything else, your fuel cost goes up. Let's say take out $4,000 in fuel, so you're stuck back 1,500. Out of that, you take, if you're doing that in 1 week, usually legally doing the trip between California and New Jersey is 8 days. It's by the book you cannot do. If the officer is smart who's checking your log, he's gonna ask. And I've seen a lot of immigrants. They're just running straight to the from the scales and everything else. I have no idea how they do it, but I've seen them do it, and they do it in 3.5 days to California, and they beat the book all the time. They have double book. And is that good for you? I don't know. I personally don't really agree with it. There are gray areas with the logbook where you can push the mileage up a little bit, but I personally do not recommend. Take your break. Health is number one wealth in the world. Money is secondary. Number one, most important thing is safety of yourself. More importantly, safety of others and the roads and environment. So basically, you're looking at the average is about 3,200 for the week is what you're gonna see. But if you ask some of these drivers who are not so aware of the market and the trucking and everything else, yeah, a lot of people are abusing them, and they pay them like 50 cents a mile or something, and they do like, let's say, about 2,500 miles. That's not good money. That's $1,250. Why would you go away for the week for 1,200 when the average person make $1,200 at the job, working 8 to 5? So that's my vlog on how much a truck driver makes. I would go over how to start a trucking company in my next vlogs, and I'll go over calculating your per mile cost on running a trucking company with per truck. And then I will also go over how to book a load in the tough market. Stay connected. Thanks for watching, and I really appreciate subscribing. God bless you all. Be safe out there.